this man, very poor, only had peas to eat. And Rick one day took all the peas from him and said, "You gonna eat them peas? You gonna eat them?"
We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming for this breaking announcement.
Good evening from New York. I'm Brian Sack with this breaking news. As you're aware, last week Newt Gingrich told an audience in Florida that he plans to build a colony on the moon and have it become America's 51st state by 2020. For more on Gingrich's proposal, we join Matt Fisher in the field.
Thanks, Brian. Greetings from the surface of the moon.
That doesn't seem possible, Matt. You're not even wearing a spacesuit.
Brian, getting to the moon is a lot easier than you might think. Otherwise, it would be crazy for a deficit hawk tax assassin like Newt Gingrich to even suggest it. Really, it's really no big deal.
Explain to me how you can stand there and not be dying.
I get it. There's no atmosphere on the moon. Well, I'm breathing less, Brian. I'm responsibly budgeting my air. Oh, and there's not much gravity. Well, I'll make do with what I've got. I'm not the type that runs to the government and says, "Wah, wah, give me artificial gravity."
Well, even still, Matt, I used to subscribe to Astronomy magazine when I was young and very lonely. This goes against everything I learned about space.
Kennedy-era space, Brian, when Democrats would recklessly spend their way to the moon. Helmets for everyone, universal oxygen. No, it ends here on Moon Base Gingrich.
Okay, so how'd you get up there?
I took a private space shuttle that was given to Gingrich as a gift by a good friend.
Now, Gingrich has only suggested that he'll work on the moon base after he's elected president. So there isn't anything actually on the moon at the moment, right?
Au contraire, this wasn't just blatant pandering to a crowd of heat-stroke Florida voters standing amidst the rubble of a space program that we as a nation long ago abandoned. No, this was a worthwhile policy proposal from a serious public servant. People have really gotten behind it, and things are really starting to sing up here.
Well, what's going on, Matt?
Well, just like Newt promised, they're working on the foundations of the moon base, permanent and Americans only. Sadly, that's sort of right on the other side of the camera there.
And what's that near your head?
Oh, that's a Philly cheesesteak. Gingrich has been traveling around Pennsylvania saying that in a Gingrich administration, they'll be producing more of these and just shooting them into space. Coincidentally, the eventual nominee is going to need Pennsylvania to win the general election.
Okay.
Oh, looks like Newt's making the rounds of the other swing states here.
Well, I see a Denver Nuggets jersey from Colorado and Jackson 5 records from Indiana, but what's the ashtray?
I assume that was made in the celebrated glass-blowing factories of Southern Ohio.
Matt, quite frankly, I don't see what Newt Gingrich is trying to get out of this.
You have to start thinking of Gingrich as like a political genie. He grants wishes. For example, he wants my vote, so he gave me the gift of good looks, retroactive to the day I was born.
Really?
I know. I live in Brooklyn, so my vote is worthless to a Republican. Mainly, he just evened my sideburns.
Matt, I hate to ask this, but as a candidate who claims to want small government, this seems like a very expensive proposition.
No, it's not that bad. The latest cost estimates are, well, geez, what's the word for a trillion with 24 zeros after it? Let's say trillion dollars.
Yeah, that's a lot, Matt. And how's Gingrich proposing that we're going to pay for this?
Well, in order to pay for the moon colony, Gingrich will have to stop funding the DEA, the TSA, the Department of Commerce.
Okay, so far so good.
The military, roads, schools, hospitals, education. Actually, everything, Brian. Also, he'll be putting the state of California on eBay.
It's very ambitious. And will he increase revenue?
Well, even though he claims to be a Republican, he will have to raise taxes to get that money. For households making under $50,000, the tax rate will go from 25 to 31.7%.
I'm no economist, Matt, but that doesn't seem particularly significant.
Well, for all households above $50,000 per year, taxes will go to 200,000%.
Okay. I mean, it seems like maybe this might not be the best idea for the country at the moment.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to argue politics with you, Brian. I'm just a reporter, an impartial observer. Actually, here's something cute. I have a framed picture of Newt Gingrich right here to hang up on the inside of the first new building on the moon.
Matt, that's a rhino.
Oh, they look exactly the same to me.
All right, Matt Fisher, take care up there.
Thank you.
GBTV. The truth lives here.